Well, for Cebu City, sustainable tourism is not new. Cebu City per se is more of 60% mountains. When you say kasi Cebu and you think of the white sand beaches and the beautiful marine life, it's in other parts of Cebu, because if you know Cebu City, you'd know that the only bodies of water we have here are at the ports and at the rivers and the lakes. But when you say sustainable tourism, it can be seen in local dining. When you say sustainable food system, there are a lot of ways to go about it, diba? We can have seasonal eating. So when you say seasonal, you talk about mangoes, which is also from Cebu. But you can also say eat local, because here, from flowers to the vegetables, Cebu City is a basket of a lot of blessings.
One of the things that they want to enjoy here in Cebu is before they go to different places in Cebu, they come to visit the city, they stay for a day. So the usual route is visit the Magellan's Cross, the Fort San Pedro, and then also they enjoy the food here in the city. Food is a big part of tourism because people would likely, after they tour around the city, they would mostly ask where to eat, and they really wanted to taste Cebuano authentic food. Other than lechon, what are the things that they wanted to try?
I feel with Anzani, everyone wants an experience, and connected to the experience is the story behind it. I'm local Cebuano, and there was a lot of dishes that I introduced to my husband, who was the one taking care of the kitchen, and we realized we needed to source locally. And sourcing locally also meant uprooting historical dishes that, could I say, example, milkfish, right? It's the local bangus, and we have to do it in the procedure or technical way that it appeals to the Mediterranean palate. We recognize our skill set is in Mediterranean cuisine. However, we will come with pop-ups that we do collaborations, right? And these collaborations work with local ingredients. For example, the lechon, or the famous Cebu lechon, has been in our test lab and has gone through so many ways of cooking, marination, smoke, sous vide, and it comes out as seasonal dishes in our menu throughout the year.
Sugbo Mercado is Cebu's first, biggest, and now also Sunstar's Best of Cebu, Best Food Market for 2018 here in Cebu City. A lot of the people, not just from Manila or in other major cities in the Philippines, but all over the world, who enjoy food markets in their local scene, when they come over to Cebu, they make sure to drop by Sugbo Mercado. And we've become a major tourist spot as well. We have a lot of expats already starting to sell their home-cooked food. Right, there's a coin phrase for that. It's called glocal, and the late Anthony Bourdain would define local cuisine as defined by what is present in that place, right? We have heritage food here. We have a lot of Koreans, we have a lot of Japanese vendors who have made Cebu their home, and they bring in their own cultures, their own food experiences to the market, and that makes it local.
For the restaurant, waste management also, the things that we throw away, we don't necessarily per se throw, because it goes back to the land. We give it to a municipality that does composting. So as a business, we recognize our responsibility to the community.
The city has its policy. One of the policy is we have the half price ordinance of the city. And we have also the ordinance for environmental sustainability action plan. Yung food waste naman, may ordinance ang city for solid waste management. They are required to separate their waste, and at the same time, barangays who has the primary responsibility to collect the food waste should have their own composting center in the barangay level.
What we are doing right now is the shift to more eco-friendly alternatives. The first thing we've done, of course, was to ban plastic straws. And I would PH now supplies us with cornstarch straws. It only has a little hashtag which identifies it, hashtag I am not plastic, to differentiate it from the regular black straw. And these have, well, not greatly reduced the numbers, but are a really great alternative to plastic straws. The next thing we've done is require our vendors to use wooden utensils. And the next shift now would be to ban styrofoam. So our vendors are slowly moving towards using the cardboard takeaway boxes and paper plates.
The Sustainable Diner project is a project being implemented by the Worldwide Fund for Nature Philippines. Sustainable dining practices in Cebu aim to help local sourcing, maximize the food available to them, minimize the food waste being generated, and to reduce the use of plastics. So some of our efforts here in Cebu include our media trips, which is called Save Our Planet. We held one of the sessions here in Cebu, and we worked with one of the top culinary schools in Cebu. And we invited culinary students and media partners to immerse them in what it is to be a sustainable diner. So what I really appreciate with our Cebuano media partners is that they really do their part. They get the word out to their own networks, which is really a big help for the project because word of mouth and social media are such powerful mediums.
We enjoy an average of about 5,000 guests every night. And with a lot of guests, that's a lot of takeaway containers and utensils. We also have some of our vendors who actually offer discounts for their food items if the customers come in with their own containers. And something that we continually encourage them to do.
My Italian husband has translated his many years of travel into compositions of dishes. However, in order for us to be sustainable, we needed to recreate the whole business model and the business mapping of the process, which is why now we sit on a new chapter for the restaurant. In the 1 year that has been a journey and the partnership between WWF, it has not only made us more aware, it made us understand the technical and procedural part in the integration of sustainability. It no longer is just to make money. It is how do you take it higher and how do you make it more conscious for the people eating and more conscious for the people that are working within the organization.
This partnership with WWF for the Sustainable Dining Project has been very instrumental in the implementation of what we want. Of course, there would be the setback from the vendors because changes such as shifting to cornstarch straws would be a little bit of a bump in their costs. But of course, this partnership with WWF definitely gave our initiatives that legitimacy that we are serious about what we're doing.
Yung process kasi of the food system, you have to plant, then harvest, then distribute, consumer, and also the waste disposal or management. It's an overall or overarching na process, so the government has to really be involved in these things. I would really love to do trainings or do an information drive for the restaurants to help them be aware of this problem that we're having right now. The tourists and also the locals are also very interested in helping their restaurants, or they're very interested to eat in these restaurants that are more into food sustainability.
When I started working with the Sustainable Diner, where we also had sessions teaching us the importance of what we're doing, what we're eating, where it's going, what's left of it, it created an impact that makes you realize that, zero food waste is something that is totally attainable if you only know how. So I think communication is very important because then you could set good examples that would teach people how they can help in their own ways and with their own personal lifestyles.